Hi, Ryan.
Welcome to the LeafCast. Everyone, a first-time reader show based on the epic fantasy series of Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. I am slowly not working out right now. Anyways, welcome to the LeafCast, a first-time reader show based on the epic fantasy series. Hello?
Hi.
Hi, what happened to the music?
What's up?
Let's keep it off. It doesn't work right with your mic, actually.
Oh, thank you so much. All right, so hey guys, this is I'm Ryan, and
Are you?
I'm trying to be.
Okay. You're doing a great job.
Take it away, Dan.
Hi, I'm Ryan's brother Dan, and you each owe me a pie made with your own hands.
And I'm Tom, and I'm going to be entering your home.
And this is the LeafCast. This is episode 110, ladies and germs, and we are going to be discussing chapters 11 through 13 of New Spring.
Does that mean we're like Centaurians? Is that what that is? Something like that?
Alpha Centaurians?
Sure.
The Septicentaurians?
I like it.
All right, but you guys are, again, not here to talk to us. You guys are here to listen to... Oh, hey, let's bring in our guest.
Hello.
Oh my God. It's a black beanie. Does that mean it's evil Josh? Is it evil Josh?
There are only good and evil Joshes, yes.
I think it's winter solstice or solstice.
There's none in between. Only good or evil.
It's the shortest day of the year, Josh.
Well, that was a couple of days ago, bro.
Yeah. Come on, get with it. I
Missed
celebrated Yule on the solstice, just like we're supposed to. Winter night.
Ryan, with that shirt on, your Pismo Beach shirt, you look like you have the greatest tan. You look so healthy in that shirt.
That's true.
Well, okay, well, thank you. Yellow is my color. And I do have the greatest tan because I live in...
Didn't Dan just say that yellow was like the ugliest color that there is? Oh, no, Ryan said that last week.
Yeah, Ryan said it. I love yellow.
Yeah, no.
Ryan, you make no sense.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm not trying to.
Makes a couple sense.
I think that's the point.
Happy Christmas, my friends.
I think it circles are back around. The more unsense you make, it makes sense.
The more
Kind of like the left and the right politically rejoining.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's the sound of one puppet clapping.
Oh gosh,
Puppets can't clap, Ryan.
We sure can.
Josh Grox.
Josh Grox, nice.
MaTsDaGgerX, big time,
Sure,
bro.
he does.
All right, if I don't have that on a banner, on a ribbon for the conference, I'm going to be upset.
Josh Grox. Yeah.
Guys, this is the last show of the year.
Wow.
And boy, what a year it's been. Right?
It's a roller coaster of emotions.
You're right. I mean, Olivia Newton-John died this year.
Who?
Oh, I need the book. I'll be right back.
John Bon Jovi died this year.
When?
It's too hard for Josh to hear these.
John Bon Jovi died like 2 hours ago. You didn't read this?
No.
John Bon Jovi died at age 63.
Damn. I did not know that.
Books.
April Fools.
Okay. You're hilarious.
What are you doing?
Salt from Salt and Pepper dead at age 54.
At age,
Just kidding.
keep going.
Just kidding. Snoop Dogg, age 74.
Ah.
These
Yeah,
are all
That joke, dead, age 1.
Yeah, we're learning that.
I
Dan
just read it.
wants-
It's right here.
That's for a new show, Dan.
Olivia Newton-John did die, though. No joke.
All right. Well, hey.
That's sad for her.
And as many others did, nameless, but yet temporally grand in their own ways. We wish you the best. We hope you circle back around and have an amazing secondary life.
Your spirit gets
that's the
swept
one that
back
I
to
want.
something good.
Floating around laughing at the tomfoolery of us all, or you are desperately clamoring to get back into some sort of human husk. I hope it works out for you and all the dead are reclaimed in the love of humanity, lack thereof.
Kay wants to
from their
destroy
force.
me. Ryan.
In the liminal plane. Josh, you would have been proud of
Don't
me.
use the word liminal when you don't understand what it means, Ryan.
Oh,
Ha!
No, bro, I know so much. I'm subliminal.
Wow.
Asshole.
Hey guys, if a pregnant woman goes scuba diving, is she technically a living submarine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then she's wearing a yellow bikini.
The baby's like, we all live in a living submarine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. Hey guys. Last show of the year.
Last show of the year. Yeah.
Worst jokes of the year.
I'm just getting warm.
Maybe at the end of
Great.
the show we'll have some sort of a
Lukewarm.
show New Year's resolutions on how to make the show better.
He's not lukewarm, Tom. He's Dan warm.
Oh,
It's a name. I get it.
Matthew.
You're good.
That was a good
It's one of
joke,
the
right?
Gospels.
Yeah, it was.
It's one of the Gospels.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and Dan.
Dan?
Yeah. 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 It's a Job, but somebody's got to do it, right?
Oh my god. I'm gonna turn you into a pillar of salt now.
You're gonna or get stoned. Oh, he's already stoned.
That's
Maybe
really
that's the
bad.
problem.
Everybody must. All right, guys, you want to jump into the book? We're doing New Spring from Robert Jordan. This is the prequel to the epic fantasy series Wheel of Time.
I prefer
we're in
reading
chapter
the book.
11. It's called Just Before Dawn. It has the whale tear, bloopy, bloop, the Flame of Tarvalon, I assume it is. Unless it's the other one, Dragon Fang. No, I think that's
No,
the
it's
Flame of Tarvalon.
Yeah, it's white. It's the flame.
And this is a continuation from chapter 10, where both Moiraine and Swan took their tests and are full-fledged Aes Sedai.
Almost.
They were to spend a night in quiet, solitary contemplation and prayer, just thinking about their future.
You just think about what you do.
Just think. You got to think and pray on your future. So that's what they do, and apparently that means no sleep. But in the morning, Moiraine is this is Moiraine chapter. She has not slept, and it is each must be alone when they came for her. That was the tradition. So you don't hang out with your friend, even though you love her and she's right down the hall. Knock came to the door, and there were 7 sisters waiting for her, one from each of the Aja. Must away the leaf.
Always. I'm way of the edible.
Yeah. I like that. The they come get Moiraine in some like solemn way. They're all wearing their shawls. They're all looking.
Karri's back at it again. You got a banner.
Fantastic.
Banner again.
Oh, Karri, what'd you do?
Back at it again.
Oh, get her out of here! How dare? Hey, we have standards here, Karri.
Say hi to Carrie's kids.
I love you, Karri. I'm so glad you're here. And tell your daughter Happy Christmas. I hope she got my Christmas card.
Tell your daughter to not be so exclusionary. And horizons. I'm a good kid too.
No. I appreciate her discretion. So there's 7 sisters. They come get Moiraine. They come get Swan. They walk in and they go down to where the testing was. Tamara's there, the Almerlin. They walk in and she's standing there in front of the Terrengrel that they had just used for the testing. She goes, "Who's comes here? Who's comes here?"
Yeah.
It's like Moiraine and Swan.
Mama say, Mama
It's
say.
like, what? Why? To swear the 3 oaths and thereby claim the shawl of an Aes Sedai? By what right do you claim this burden? By right of having made the passage, submitting myself to the will of the White Tower. And then she says, then enter if you dare and bind yourself to the White Tower. Hand in hand, they entered.
How cute.
That's a drinking obligation, actually.
Really?
Together. Yeah.
Okay.
No, they entered. Yeah.
Hand in hand though?
Mm-hmm.
So Josh,
Is that double fisting? Is that
how cute was it that they said it together at the same time, Josh? Wasn't that cute?
How what?
How they said the lines at the same time together, wasn't that cute?
Yeah, and they would have if this book was a little funnier, they would have tried to comedically walk through the door at the same time and gotten stuck.
And then
and be like, squeeze.
They referenced it, so I feel like that's enough.
and then they push, and then they pop through.
They pop through, yeah.
And they both go after you. No, after you. No, after you. No. Okay.
Oh, that's a good. That old trope.
That old trope.
Doctor.
So
is this
and so
is this
Swan?
Okay.
So Swan tricked her into letting her go first by taking what Swan considered to be the lesser of the first of going through the door. That's how I read it.
Yeah, that's what it's.
Is that how you all read it too?
Seems like, yeah, it says this was one. So it says the Terren girl presented. So here's another drinking obligation, real fast. We'll get back to it. It says the tall oval was too narrow for both to pass through at once. But not without squeezing together, and that hardly conformed to the required dignity. This was one argument Moraine had won. Swan gave her a look. It seemed impossible, blah, blah, blah. Turn the page. And gathering her skirts, stepped through with Moraine following behind. Side by side, they knelt in front of the Amerlin. So, yeah,
Right.
I guess that was one thing. She's like, well, you go first, but I'll hold the
Since
rod.
you passed your test first, you get to become a sister first.
That's fair.
But Tamara seemed pretty empathetic to what they were doing. She sees that they are both there, and she pretty much names them at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thank you, Karri John.
Hey,
Thank you, Karri John Jr.
I can't Karri John.
Barely John.
Whoa.
Little John.
Little John.
You don't pay no tolls.
I like that.
We don't eat no rolls.
Little John. I'm like a fine wine, Little John. I'm like a fine Sunday morning cartoon. You didn't like the Fraggle Rock when it first came out, but then all of a sudden you're like, wow, this is a genius show, and she doesn't know Fraggle
That was
Rock.
Rugrats for me. I didn't like Rugrats, but in retrospect, it's not bad.
It was a great show. There's a lot.
Yeah.
The show is way deeper than you thought.
Yeah,
Well,
I
yeah,
didn't like it as a parent, but now I kind of
wish
like it.
I didn't like it because I want good drawing.
Mm-hmm.
I like art.
That's another thing. It looks like I did it left-handed.
Yes, I know. I was like, why are they just phoning this shit in every episode?
And there's this bully girl. I can't remember her name.
Angelica.
Angelica, who was the antithesis of any big, and we had a big sister in our house, and we're like, yeah, we're not gonna watch this shit.
Brought back too many
Angelica
bad memories.
ruined that show for us. Yeah.
Speaking of, remember Age Like Fine Milk? What is that
Come and
show
go to-
about? Oh, MrHowley's in the house. Hey, what is it?
But now we can start.
eat old milk and get drunk.
Josh, we see the effects of the oath rod. Let's talk a little about that.
We also actually see the actual oaths. I know we've heard them before, but like this is them doing them. So now we know the exact wording and all that. That's pretty interesting.
You talked about like the effects, the other effects of the oath rod itself. Do you see this being confirmed in us seeing this ceremony?
The tightness.
Yeah. Is that how you pictured the oaths to be, like almost like a layer that went around you?
No, that's the feeling I get right before I have a heart attack and die.
How many times have you experienced?
Both times?
No, yeah, well, I mean, three times the charm, but yeah, that I'm
Moraine's left arm started hurting.
I'm feeling a tightness.
She felt nauseous.
I smell burnt toast.
I smell burnt toast.
Stick your tongue out.
I taste pennies in my mouth. So yeah, what was your reaction? I guess.
Oh, that's
to
a
the
stroke.
Oath ceremony itself.
Yes, I know. Josh, shut up! God damn it, Josh.
I was criticizing my own statement.
If you're a heart check and a stroke, it's funny though. It's funny. I'm trying to impress Karri John's daughter.
Yes, Karri John's
stroke jokes. All right, come on.
I see.
Karri John
I
daughter,
see.
do you like Ryan's yellow shirt? Doesn't he look good?
He looks great. I think he looks great.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
worst color in the history of colors.
So let's get to Oathrod.
It
We
did
saw it
sort
on
of
the
meet
show.
my expectations, Ryan. It did. It's a little strange the way it works, but that's okay.
Explain. What's the strangeness?
That it's physical. That it is like wearing a spandex suit.
Right? Yeah. Like a green
And
screen.
it progressively got
It's a
tighter.
little latex.
As each layer was laid on. Like, why would they be cereal instead of? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, remember also that this is a terangrio that's left over from the Age of Legends that they,
Are repurposing.
yeah. Well, we don't know what the purpose is.
So maybe it was a torture device.
Who knows?
An interrogation like
I mean, I do think
Guantanamo
that
Bay.
the fact that the oaths are there to protect, society from the possible harm of channeling women. Like, did they have the oath rod in mind when they wrote the oaths? Or did the oath rod get applied later because someone experimented with it and realized what it could do by saying an oath and getting caught up in it, and they have 4 oaths?
Well, actually, yeah. Think about this. We do. It reminds me of what we know about how when they talk about the history of the Aes Sedai, that the Aes Sedai after the breaking felt that they needed to assure the world and
Right.
the world like that they are trustworthy by.
And that's what I think the 3 oaths are there for, basically. Is
like
that assurance.
we talked about, like kind of a PR thing, right?
Yeah.
So let's dig a little. Oh, go ahead, Ryan. I'm sorry.
Just in terms of Josh's question about chronology, though, it's really interesting, though. Like, what came first? Did they discover this and then say, okay,
Right.
well, let's announce this to the world to gain advantage, or did they announce to the world and then right? Yeah, like I love the idea of like what came first and why.
Right, and that's kind of the crux of my question then too. Is so this oath rod, and it's the same thing with the accepted test. We saw that when Nynaeve goes through the accepted test, it is like almost like a psychological. It's an exercise in psychology, more or less.
Yeah.
Right.
That we know that they use this for, but we question when it happened whether this could have had other uses as well. Same with the oath rod. So, do you think that they could have laid like 10, like any oath they want onto this rod?
Yeah.
Giggity.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Well, there is a drinking obligation. I will say this, and there is no argument with this. This one is a drinking obligation.
No,
It says,
okay.
invisible and utterly flexible, yet oh so tight.
Yep, I highlighted that one too.
Got it.
I'm surprised you missed gaping doorway though.
I'm sorry. I can't get them all. Robert Jordan's just too sexy for me.
That's it. Oh man, it's the beard, isn't it?
It takes a village to
Literally.
suss out the perv.
I do like the one thing I never picked up on until reading this passage was that it binds them to the White Tower. And what is the White Tower? What is the oath rod? They're both cylindrical white objects that are taller than they are wide.
Interesting.
Maybe
a smooth ivory white cylinder.
Maybe
foot
this
long and
is
only
kind
slightly
of
thicker than
a foot long. Damn, son.
maybe
and
this
only
is
slightly thicker than Maureen's wrist.
Damn.
Oh Jesus.
Maybe this is kind of the type of magic where like begets like. Like maybe it only works because of the shape of the White Tower.
Well, in what way does it bind them to the White Tower?
Actually, no. I love that idea though, Josh. That
Yeah.
the physical, actual structure and resemblance is the key there. That's cool.
So, if in theory,
how
if
does
the
it bind them
Tower
to the
is
White
broken-
Tower? It binds them to the other sisters. It's meant to be binding them to the community of the White Tower, I believe. To the sisterhood of women who are under the control of the same oaths.
Okay. Because like they've all sworn the same oaths.
Right.
So you don't think it's just like a beacon anywhere they go, they can just kind of walk in the direction of the White Tower and find it? Is it just one?
No.
I guess it's fun.
All roads lead to Tarvalon, right?
No,
All
I know
roads
that.
lead
I
to
know,
the
but
giant white
That's true.
penis.
maybe that is the genesis of that. Is they're just kind of like GPS to the White Tower.
Right.
So if I can, let me just talk about the descriptions as she is saying her vows. The first time she says, I vow that I will speak no word that is untrue. The oath settled on her, and suddenly the air seemed to press harder against her skin. Red is white, she thought, up is down. She could still think a lie, but her tongue would not work to utter it now. Under the light, my hope is salvation. I vow that I will make no weapon for one man to kill another. The pressure grew abruptly. It felt as though she had been sewn into an invisible garment, much too tight, that molded her from the crown of her head to the soles of her feet. And the final one, she says, under my light and salvation, I vow that I will never use the one power as a weapon against dark friends or shadow spawn, except against dark friends or shadow spawn, or the last extreme of defending my life or that of my warder or another sister. That garment shrank to even greater snugness, and she breathed heavily through her nose, clamping her jaws to keep it from becoming a gasp. Invisible and utterly flexible, but yet oh so tight. This feeling that her flesh was being compressed would fade, but not entirely for a whole year. It's she's feeling it like to where she's like it's affecting her breathing a little bit. Anyways, and that's only half of it, because the other half is choosing your Aja.
Mm-hmm.
And Swan and Mo go, yep, we're blue, ride or die, baby. And everyone just kind of else files out. She's not sure if there's an order to how they leave, but the yellows bail first, and the reds are kind of near the end.
Yeah, I like the sorting. I like the sorting hat better.
Yeah, a Gryffindor.
I thought it was interesting. Like I honestly kind of forgot. I knew the blues were small, but I didn't know they were one of the
second smallest Aja.
Yeah, I forgot that they were.
It's like there's religions, and there's like then the Jehovah's Witnesses are like over in a.
Well, the whites are like the whites are the no one wants the I mean, logically that makes sense that the whites are the smallest one. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I would think yellow is a fun one. It's shocking that red is the most is the most populous of the Ajas, apparently, in the book series as we read them. Which I don't see it.
The people on the outside, like they would see the reds as the most useful of the Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Probably the reds and the yellows, right? I mean, like the yellows heal people, and the reds stop men who can channel.
Right.
All the other Aes Sedai just meddle, and they probably hate that shit.
Metal. If you're Baron, then you heavy metal.
Yeah, sorry. Again, everyone, there is a live Discord chat going on.
Oh, I will get on the break. I forgot about that.
I'm having technical difficulties, but I will get on as soon as possible.
I'll get on in the break. Sorry.
I don't have two cameras anymore. I have the SADs.
I'll get on right now, but it'll be a bad camera shot.
SADs.
And then we pretty much have everyone learns how secret handshakes, secret knocks.
Yeah.
They learn all the little stuff. It's like, oh, hey, you got to meet the
Lucky we don't make you walk back naked like they used to.
And I know we've talked about it, and I don't want to go over it because I hate it when Josh reminds me that we've talked about it before. But yes, this notion of like how the Aes Sedai structure themselves in terms of power and deference, and how they choose to do that. They basically, it's like It reminds me of like a video game. You have hit points, and you walk around with your hit points above your head, and everyone's got to look at you. If you have more hit points than the other person, they defer naturally. And right, and we've seen the difference between this and the wise ones, where the wise one seems to gain honor through just
being honorable.
accomplishments and abilities beyond just sheer power or strength in the power. It seems like, did you have any further thoughts on that as we saw it kind of being like laid out brazenly like this?
I mean, it just like I think I mentioned it a few weeks ago. You know that, yeah, there's this double hierarchy within the White Tower of power and in the OP versus the hierarchy of your actual position, whether you're a sitter or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so there's sort of, you can see it's sort of like two vectors, right? One is cross the ajas and very amorphous and subjective, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then the other subjective, weirdly, but also objective. And then secondarily, you have this very objective, strongly delineated color and power separation within the organizations themselves.
Yeah. And then they even said, like, they point out in this chapter, like, if the Amyrlin sends out a diplomatic mission and the Amyrlin appoints somebody in charge of it, you would still have to defer to that person.
Even if they're lesser power than you. Yeah.
So there's so many layers and complexities to it. It's like its own game of houses within the system.
But is it a game of houses, or is it on some level it's just bald? It's like baldly unskilled and like tactless. Like it, I want to almost say like it's the opposite of the game of houses. It's just read your sister, and if they're stronger than you, defer.
No, I just meant how many layers of complications they add to it.
Okay, yeah, no, well, yeah.
There's political. There, I mean, it's just like in the real world. I mean, we all have many mutually exclusive and reinforcing hierarchies that we live within daily.
Yeah.
And it's part of the human condition to like evaluate oneself and one's value within those, right?
Yeah.
Well, and oh, go ahead.
Which is why Josh just tries to undermine me at every turn.
I can imagine back in the day, some of these sisters were like, listen, we are taking an oath not to use the one power against each other, and that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. But bitches know that I am the top dog. I can totally win in a wizard off right now, and that needs to be respected. Even though we can't do it, the oath says we can't do it. I could totally beat you in a one power arm wrestling competition. So, there's that.
It's sort of the alpha dog competition, right?
Yeah.
Are you a beta or an alpha? And I'm going to lead the pack. And your role within the pack is determined by your strength.
Here's a question. Okay, go on.
Go ahead, Ryan. I'll circle. I remember my hair.
If the Aes Sedai were to comport themselves like the wise ones did, and were to confer power and prestige and responsibility onto those in the manner that they do it, do you think the White Tower would be more dysfunctional or less dysfunctional? Do you think there's any drawbacks to that, or is that a benefit? Like how the
That's a good question, Ryan.
Thank you.
Sorry, what is there a drawback or benefit to the hierarchy of power in the one power?
To either
is it a drawback or a benefit for
to either
Sedai?
Structures? Yeah, either ways they do come about it.
I mean, it's very militaristic, in a way. It's
which one? Who? Sorry, who? To be
the Aes Sedai's way of doing it, right?
Okay,
yeah. That it's not about how long you've been an Aes Sedai or.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is that it could technically it would put someone like Moiraine, who's been Aes Sedai for 10 minutes, above almost everybody else in the tower.
Right, because of her capabilities.
Even Aes Sedai who've been Aes Sedai for 100 years, They would have to
Right,
listen
which
to
is
more.
why already when she walks in, some of the blues are like acting sheepish around her.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool to see.
Yeah,
it
that is
actually.
weird.
I don't like that it means that you are forced into essentially to be in a position of power, you have to be strong within the one power. And that seems like a drawback. Like there may be people who, like it probably would be better for people who had prowess in politics and prowess as an administrator to be people who have power within the organization to do things like administrate and be a sitter, and rather than only your ability. And I mean, the blues kind of address this. They say, as the blues, we work to whatever your abilities are and encourage them. But it does seem like if you are just lesser in the one power, then you can only ever go so high within the organization.
Yeah. Do you think this is another way Robert Jordan is trying to be like, look, the Aes Sedai are kind of shitty in what they do?
I think so. Yeah.
Like he knowingly knows that this
Well,
is
it's
a
to
bad
make them
thing. Like,
human.
or not, not the best way to do this, but he did it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it humanizes them, right? Like, think about the Lord of the Rings, right? Like, Gandalf the Grey. I mean, granted, the wizards are themselves a race of
Angels,
humans who have descended to Earth from the heavens and have a certain level of ability, right? So it's a little bit different. These are human beings who have a capability that allows them to become something more. But it is kind of like,
well, I mean,
it humanizes them to not be perfect.
Yeah, and
is my point.
And the wizards in the Lord of the Rings were also bound to not, in some ways, to not be able to use their powers to influence events,
right?
But to only just help the humans in their decisions. So it was there's a little bit of
is there like a wizardly checks and balances? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, the wizards are angels, and the god of the Lord of the Rings basically told them they're not allowed to use their magic to like influence events the way they.
The 7 wizards on Middle Earth and on the planet are.
Nomengarden knows. Nomengarden will learn.
Wait! You're blowing my fucking mind right now. So Gandalf is an angel?
Yeah.
He's not like a normal human.
No.
So he's not
Sauron.
I'm not normal.
See, the 5 Istari.
No, he's not a noble. He's actually like a higher form of being.
Yeah, he's actually like
he's a Numenorian, basically.
Oh, Aragorn.
He's friend of the Eagles, man.
Yeah.
So this hierarchical way actually makes
book.
sense to me if you are a yellow, for sure. If you are strong in the one power as a yellow, then you become a surgeon. If you're not so strong, then you are perhaps like a ER nurse or someone, triage. You have people who are all part of the thing, so you can have like a Aes Sedai Doogie Howser, who's like a 16-year-old freaking really good doctor because he's really good.
But is it the fact that he's like a powerful yellow, like someone who's powerful in the one power? Would they be really? Just because they're strong doesn't necessarily mean they're good at healing, because healing is hard. It's intricate. It's technical.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You're right.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
But the thing that really bothers me about all this is why train them to not judge based upon one's ability.
Right. By the way, that made no sense to me at all. That was just phantom words to me.
Yeah, Maiar, exactly. Yeah.
What else is
Istari or Maiar?
Okay.
Maiar.
Here.
The Gandalfs, the wizards of the Lord of the Rings.
I think,
of course.
It seems a lot like
it seems like
people like
stunting people intentionally so that when they become sisters, they're
We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about money. We don't talk about religion.
But then you
blah, blah,
become a
blah.
politician and you
Yeah,
have to talk about
exactly.
politics.
Exactly.
It's just
But-
dumb.
but-
It's
but,
dumb. Like
They
why
make it a taboo, but it really shouldn't be. Like it should be things that they talk about. So
why not train them if it's something? I mean, I guess they don't want
it's a secret.
people
too,
who
obviously,
fail out
to know.
to have assessed the sisters.
Well, it's also a secret.
Right.
Like they don't like no one other than sisters apparently know they do this.
I mean,
And that was another question I was.
but they
gonna
picked
ask
up
is-
on it, right? Like she picked up, Moiraine picked up on it when she was watching the two sisters who came into the camp while they were doing their name collecting, right?
Yeah, but she didn't really. But she didn't. She realized that they were one was listening to the other, but she couldn't pick out why.
Well, she was like, why on earth is this girl
Yeah.
deferring to this other woman?
Yeah.
Mhm. Right. Right, and it makes
When that's
sense
so
now.
far from her personality, right?
But
be
the Blues,
one who
like the head
cows
of the
to another.
the head of the Blues is called the first selector, and they're like, "Oh fuck, don't tell anyone though. It's a first selector. That's part of the secret handshake. That's part of the secret knock. These things, these Ajas, you get right off the bat. She is warned. They're like, all right, first of all, don't mess with someone who's above you because they outrank you, and that's how it is. Second of all, don't say a lot of the stuff that we're telling you because it's. And the
It's
Blues
rude.
we hear have eyes and ears everywhere. They are the seekers of causes, more or less. But they are secretive as heck. And you assume that all the Ajas are, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
What benefit is that? I mean, why would the Yellows have special healing weaves
There isn't
just
one.
for them?
I think
Internal
I-
conniving.
Yeah, I really honestly there is no benefit to this. This is just further showing how the tower is bad at what they do because they are like this.
But
Yeah,
isn't
and
this? I mean, this is all stuff that leads to Swan wanting to save the tower, right? It's like if we don't learn these things now and see that there are problems that need to be solved, it doesn't explain why later in our timeline, the book timeline, later
Mhm.
Amerlins have a mission to quote unquote heal the White Tower. And we hear that the White Tower is troubled. We see that the White Tower is troubled. There are empty rooms everywhere. There's less and less accepted being tested for sisterhood. There's less women being found who can channel. How much of that is the byproduct of their own internal practice? We already know that by stamping out male channelers, they've lessened that in the world, right? So
Mhm.
yet another layer of like how their practices are problematic for.
And since they're an allegory of the Catholic Church, like it has a lot of similar problems than as the Catholic Church has, and I think he writes that kind of into this.
So, Josh, do you see any of the things that we see with Tamra foretelling the problems that we see 30 years later, 20 years later in our book series?
That was shocking.
Yeah.
I saw meat.
What
I guess
foretelling?
that's the way to phrase it. I mean, not foretelling with a capital F, but any presages to what we are experiencing now with a split tower, more or less, with a deposed Amerlin. Do you see the seeds being set here, or do you think they all began when Swan?
No, absolutely no. I mean, they're here. I mean, all the stuff we're talking about is part of that problem.
Mm-hmm.
The divisiveness within the tower and the secrecy and the. I mean, how different is it for the Black? I mean, it's like the Black Aja are very similar. Other than their dark friends, all of this stuff is sort of the same. Like the degree of secrecy and like it's not a far stretch to imagine why there's a Black Aja when you get to all this stuff, right?
Right. So we learned that Tamara was a blue. We know that Swan is a blue. And then Elida is a red. We don't know the ascension process at all with Swan right now, but do you think that just based on the structure that we have, that it's a good idea to have a blue succeeding a blue in the tower?
I mean, it probably just adds to the strife and separate, and
Yeah.
Separation. But there's probably a reason for it.
Well, they're elected, so
Yeah. Well, it says the blue is the second smallest Aja after the white, but every blue sister currently in Tarvalon was lining the main corridor.
and it was like what? What did they
for
say?
the
30,
greeting.
30 something, right? 34, 36 or something like that.
You can imagine though that
yeah.
with what's happening in the world, with the dragon being reborn and Tarmangaiden on the horizon, and like, who better to be elected than a blue? Someone who has causes at the root, seeker of causes at the root of their being. That's probably why there's a blue here now, right? Like,
the other thing that,
and why it makes sense a red would come next. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah,
right. To kind of balance, like politically.
The thing that I want to point out here specifically from this chapter too is actually tying back to the TV show, which is an issue a lot of people brought up was like, oh, they said that the blues are spies, and that doesn't make any sense. They weren't like that. They 1000% are the spies. Like, especially in this scene specifically, Suan, like one of the sisters takes Suan and then tests her on how fast she can solve puzzles.
Right.
Does that sound like code breaking to you? Like, that's literally how they suss out good code breakers for like the CIA and stuff like that. So it's literally right off the bat, we know that the blue eyes and ears are like the more intelligence.
They're the intelligence agency of the White Tower.
Yeah, exactly.
So to answer your question, Tom, there were 30. It said there were 39 more welcome kisses. This is after the woman who said Aldre stole my pies. Who that was the 6th kiss. So there is at least 46 or 47 kisses
in the tower right now.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So if they're the smallest and they're around 50, that's just gives you an idea of how many Aes Sedai there are.
Yeah,
I think we talked about the number, didn't we?
We did a bit, but I don't think we talked specifics. But if we're talking that there's maybe 50 in the tower right now, do we assume that that's maybe half of the Blues numbers? A third of them? I don't know. A fifth? A fifth, maybe? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to gauge it, to be honest.
Could be 3/5.
3/5? 60%?
I thought most of them would be gone. I mean, it said because of the war, most of the sisters were out of the tower.
Yeah, and Blues are naturally just
going to be out,
wanderers,
doing stuff.
So they choose Blues. They kind of have to go talk to the first selector, who is the head of the Aja, and that's pretty much it. It's there's weird customs. She's like, some are silly as wearing blue stockings when leaving Tarvalon. Some is sensible as refraining from marriage. Apparently, that's something that is encouraged within the Aja itself.
Interesting.
But she's like, hey, whatever. I'm not gonna. I'll follow your stupid rules because I got a job to do. I'm gonna go find that boy child. And that's pretty much how it ends. Chapter 11 does. Is there anything that we missed that you wanted to touch on, Josh, before we move to chapter 12?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm more curious.
Did you want to do this one, Tom, or did you want me?
Chapter 12. I can take chapter 12.
Okay.
But I'm curious if Mistress Dovie has a checklist that she uses to evaluate her meat specifically.
Yeah. Leave that in chat. Brother Dan, I'm here. I lost my camera, but I got audio, so I'm still with you.
Yeah.
You lost your camera?
I was afraid.
Well, guys, we need a search party.
No, we're good. No. I turned one camera on and like everyone freaked out and called me meat.
Meaty.
Well,
It's meat. Meat man.
I'm seeing Boo Boo on one camera.
All right. So the next chapter, chapter 12, is Entering Home. Also sounds like a little bit of a drinking obligation, but I digress. The chapter icon is the fishy, so a swan chapter, or at least, focusing a little bit around swan.
Wait. Did you say entering homes is a drinking obligation?
It could be.
Entering home.
Entering home. You have to say it slowly with a little bit of huskiness in your voice.
Entering home.
Did I enter
There you
home? But yet it makes me think of like baseball.
Yeah, see, sliding into home.
That's not sexy.
But you literally use the bases to describe.
You're right.
You don't enter home on base. You're not entering home.
You're not entering.
Slide into home.
I don't get it. You guys
charge.
Hey,
Ryan,
I'm liberal as the next anybody. Like I'm liberal AF.
It's
But
just that
I
I'm
love
thirsty and I wanna
language,
drink.
and you guys are bastardizing language, destroying it,
I'll take it.
taking it out to the gutter, slapping it left and right like a redheaded stepchild.
Ryan, that's what language is for.
If there wasn't a gutter, my mind would be homeless.
Language is to be bastardized.
Ryan, English is my 6th language, and I'm still crushing you.
For good times and bad times.
Yashabia.
You're
Hey,
sick.
as Melania Trump says, be best, Ryan. Be best.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping I'm better than best. And
I
I'm
want you
waiting
to be
you
best.
fuck up.
All right.
So they get into their
Alright.
quarters, they check out their rooms, which was interesting, and they find Edith, I guess is how you say that?
Yeah. Well, how do you pronounce it, Josh? Eadyth.
Yeah, Edith. Mhm.
Yeah, Edith. It's just a fucked up asshole way to spell Edith.
Yeah. Kids today. Come on, Gen Z.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, this is Erica, Airecka. Erica.
My grandmother was named Edith. She didn't have no IYDTH.
Theta, beta, delta.
The way that she gives her like the explanation of this and like quickly just like explains it of the the power and stuff. We already went into that, but is funny. Like she wants to just get it out, say it and then just be done because it makes her uncomfortable to talk about it. Which is just like another thing, like we don't talk about, like in our societies, like the things that we should be talking about most, they make it taboo to talk about. Money and politics and your strength and the power. We don't talk about that either.
Yeah.
We can't talk about it, but you have to pay attention to it at all times, and it matters.
Hey Tom, how's your 401k doing?
Oh, not bad actually.
Yeah. What's your blood type?
O negative. It is.
Really? That's really.
And your mom's maiden name and your first pet's name, please.
Coleman and
born on.
Forsyth.
The whole trope about what's your porn name, that's really just a hacker invention to get everyone's passwords. Jesus, everyone, I just blew my mind. I just realized this.
I think so.
You just
I think
realized
so.
What's your porn name?
Mine is Bella Longstrider.
No, yeah, we had someone nick the tip, Mistress Dovie. Don't worry. There's been a bris. Is this the chapter where she says that she could kiss her and she does? No, that was the last one.
No, it's this chapter.
No, it's this chapter.
Yeah, it is this chapter. So, that's like straight up just kind of showing their relationship here. They just, it's very like hide your gaze, but still it's there a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
She straight up just says that they kiss. It's just like they gloss over it real quick and don't even like go into it at all. It's just says that it happens. So yeah, they kiss 39 sisters. They talk about their power, the level of the power. They go into their bedrooms. Maureen picks up her Kisera, which is interesting. For the first time in 6 years that she says.
Mm.
And then so So I looked up how to pronounce this name because I wasn't sure, and it's Satalia. The Aes Sedai that comes in, Satalia Sedai.
I gotta tell ya. I gotta tell
You know, Ryan,
ya.
by the way, whenever I see Moraine's hair thingy is spread out, I think of the lead singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers,
Oh, you got
I'm
me. I
like,
got no fucking idea. who
Anthony
that is.
Kiedis.
Oh, okay.
Dumb. That's the dumbest one.
Yeah, I promise I do. I promise I do. I think Anthony Kiedis and Kiedis. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think of a quinceañera.
I will
I've
keep
been
go
to a
with
lot.
that.
Well, when I
that-
say it out loud, I think of Quinceañera, but when I read it, I think Anthony Kiedis.
Uh-huh. I know you just
I
like
don't
under the White Tower downtown.
I'm very proud of you.
Ryan,
That's
if we're gonna mock Revelations, then I'm going to just be guarded about what I share here, son.
You shouldn't.
This should be a safe spot.
It is a safe space. This is all safe spaces here.
No, damn
I feel mortification of the spirit and mortification of the flesh.
Yeah, that's fucked
God
up.
damn.
Like, what are they doing? What are they mortifying?
Yeah, what are those? Yeah.
Mortification of the spirit. I think everyone just makes fun of you.
Yeah, they just stand there and ridicule you. Your hair looks stupid today, Maureen.
Oh, look at her stupid hair thingy.
Your
Looks like
eye
the
is
lead
crooked.
singer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
under the White Tower downtown.
Well,
Like,
what emphasizes it when she puts a little sock over the gem.
Ah! See, but well, this is this is another thing from that's like from the Catholic Church. So the mortification of the flesh is like, oh man, have you ever seen what's that fucking movie with Tom Hanks?
Big
No, the one with the church.
Money Pit.
Castaway.
Not go get me. The one with the church.
Sully.
Da Vinci Code. Da Vinci Code. Paul Bettany is in that, and he whips himself constantly.
That's mortification of the flesh.
That's mortification of the flesh.
Yeah.
So like you would find yourself, sinning, and you would
Self-flagellation, yeah.
Yeah. So that's very, very Catholic churchy of the Aes Sedai with this mortification of the
But
flesh.
they also say a month or two of labor or deprivation. And labor and deprivation both have a capital L and a capital D. What the hell is deprivation? Is it they just put you in like Joe
like
Rogan's tank?
What do you mean like
For
a
a month?
cell?
Joe Rogan's sensory
Like
deprivation.
solitary.
Yeah, sensory deprivation.
or maybe they're not allowed to channel or something.
Yeah. So it is weird that other sisters can inflict punishments to their colleagues and comrades.
Especially like this is like one of the highest levels of like bad things that you could do to another sister is, not abiding by the hierarchy of the power scaling when you're in their presence. Like they were like,
Right.
this is such a bad thing to do. Like that's the way that she frames it.
It's described, yeah.
Yeah, it says since the penance is set by the offended sister, it is seldom light.
Because you know how we like to get at one another.
Yeah. See,
So
that's
I
just
mean,
another
so that's
way.
like Tom. I could just be like, all right, Tom, I'm going to sentence you to a month
Sentence me.
of solitary confinement
That-
because I'm stronger than you and you offended me. I wonder how that goes. Is there paperwork? Do they send it to the Amerlin? Does she have to like sign off on it?
if I offend you more, will you beat me?
Don't tease me with a good time.
Sorry.
Uh,
So
Mission
not much
accomplished.
Yeah, you're welcome. So not much happens here. They Anaya comes at the end after they talk to Satel. See, but here's Satel again. She this is where she knew of Suan's analytical abilities, so she's like, hey, come look at this puzzle. I'm taking you with me to solve more puzzles. So it's like, and then she's in charge of the eyes and ears, the entire network of eyes and ears later on, we find out. So that's
there is a drinking obligation here. I underlined, Tom. The sentence, that thought came very hard.
Okay, all right, yeah. Came very hard. Period. That's it. That's all you need.
I thought
No,
this
that
one was
thought
good
came.
too. Maureen stiffened a pretty little porcelain doll.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. I like this,
And that's a
woman, too.
fucked up way to say it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking for a pretty little person, a doll of a girl, and that must be you. And
Yeah.
she's like, well, call bristle.
Bristle.
Fantasy.
Bristle.
There's also a fingering of lace in this chapter. You gotta finger
There's
that
also
lace.
a lady of rods.
Yep. She gets around. The warders like her a lot.
Lady of rods.
Anyway, then we jump. Is there anything left in this Maureen chapter that you want to? I mean, Maureen POV. I don't think much more happens here. But what about you, Josh? Before we get to Swan. They go to the bedroom. Yeah, that's pretty much.
There, I guess Maureen does get healed.
Naya offers to heal her.
Her discomfort from that's something that they can offer and say, hey, let me try and make this whole process a little less funky.
Or
and it
is
says
she healing her to keep
it
tabs
helped with
on
the
her?
tightness. What?
Because healing, like if they heal each other, it gives them like an idea, like they could sense them later. Because they've healed them once before. So is this a way for her to like,
keep tabs on her?
Yeah.
The tightness did not loosen by a hair, but it was much more comfortable.
Yeah.
How about
that? It did work. All right. So we'll jump over to Swan, which isn't long. She's with Satale for hours doing the puzzles and stuff, but she learns that she's going to be the assistant to the head of the eyes and ears. So There you go. She's going to be the number 2 in the spy network.
What time do you think Second Rise is, Josh? 9 a.m.
Second bell. 7. 6:45.
Okay. First Rise is like 5:30 or so.
5:40. Yeah. 5:45. 5:30.
Okay. Man. What is this, the Marines? Jeez, and rice.
The only time I've ever heard of Second Rise is when you're baking bread. I was like, are they baking a loaf? They got a loaf in the oven? Are they proving a loaf? Get some good texture in there.
It's a starter that I've had for 4 months, Tom.
Yeah, we got to get Paul Hollywood out here. He's the connoisseur of bread.
It's a good bake. It's got a good crumb. It's a bit stodgy.
Yeah, stodgy. I love when they say stodgy because it's like, what the fuck does that word mean? Sorry.
I love when that woman's like, "Oh, this isn't your best effort, now is it?"
No.
And everyone just smiles and goes, "No, it's not."
Well, it doesn't taste good, but it is pretty.
Oh, this is quite dreadful, is it not? Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But you know that already. So anyway, yeah. So she's upset because now like she doesn't have a choice in this job that she has that she thinks is going to take her away from finding the Dragon Reborn. And this is also when they Maureen offers her healing, and then it kind of ends with the kiss. So what do you think about that there?
Scene end. Yeah. What happened afterwards?
Yeah.
Certainly left to our imaginations.
Yeah.
In the blank part of the page.
And also how excited were you when you got to so she sees Maureen and she says it's worse. Tamra's put me in charge of distributing the bounty, but she says worse. Maureen replied disconsolately. Like, how excited were you at that word? I know you love those words.
It's not the most exciting word, but it'll do.
Okay. I mean, it's bigger. I had to Google what it meant precisely because I wasn't sure. Like, I thought it meant like something like maybe like having to do with like discord, like discordance, but I was wrong.
Sadness.
Josh, Maureen feels
in a troubled way.
That the White Tower wants her to take the throne of Kyrian.
Yeah.
She doesn't see it as the worst idea. She's like, I could probably do it without riots. What do you think? And do you think that this is I mean, we know now in the books per se where we're at now, but do you think that this idea is a good one?
I mean, not for the pattern.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Knowing what Moiraine's supposed to do, yeah.
Right.
But also they know that, like, we know that from the books that we've read so far, they say like Aes Sedai queens don't really last very long.
Right. Right. And I mean, Swan addresses that here and says, don't even think about the queens who didn't last long. But
Exactly, yeah. So they basically kind of talk about how they need to get out of this, how they need to get out of the tower as quickly as possible, or at least how Moiraine needs to get out of the tower as quickly as possible before she gets assigned a task that she can't get out of.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, then that's pretty much all that happens here. Swan could have kissed her. In fact, she did.
Yeah, Swan thinks she's fucked. She's like, I ain't getting out of this tower for
Yeah, we got to get you
years.
out of here as quickly as possible, pretty much.
Yeah. She's like, send me postcards, I guess.
No.
So when she says we'll find a way, and the first oath allows her to say those words, is that the pattern?
Well,
Why is it not a lie, even though she believes it to be one?
Well, because maybe subconsciously she doesn't believe it to be a lie.
Yeah, I mean, what
Yeah,
makes
that's
it
an
what
interesting-
makes a lie? Consciousness, unconsciousness? Is
Well,
it
we know
how
What is
how is it
optimism?
evaluated?
is optimism lying? I guess is what we're seeing here. You know, so she's being optimistic, but she doesn't really think that their chances are well. But is optimism a lie? And I guess the oath rod says no, perhaps.
Yeah. But toward what you were saying, we know that if an Aes Sedai says something that they believe to be true, though it
Mhm.
is in fact wrong, they could still say it as long as
They
they
can still
believe
say
it
it.
to be true. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So belief is the key factor here.
Correct.
But she doesn't believe it herself.
Or
But
that's
yet
what
she's
she
able to
says,
say
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So it's a little contradictory.
Yeah. Or they're just, she's just she's thinking that to frame how I feel like that's almost Robert Jordan talking to the reader, unless
Mhm.
Swan's thought, like, just to frame how difficult the situation is. Like, it might just be a bit of bad writing there.
Right.
You
And
can
it's
imagine
interesting the way
no
it's
way
written
out
itself.
for either of them.
It says, we'll find a way out, she said, putting the far more confidence into her voice than she felt. We'll find a way. She was a little surprised that the first oath allowed her to say those words. She could imagine no way out for either of them.
That's what got me wondering, like, is the pattern involved in the oath rod's capability to determine the truthiness of one's statements?
Well, the wheel weaves as the wheel wills.
Hey-oh. Zinga.
No, yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. I think maybe it's because she says we'll find a way, even though she can't imagine one. She does think maybe they will be able to find one, so it's not really a lie.
And they do find a way, we know.
Well, obviously, yeah.
So that's, again, what made me wonder, like, oh, is this a glimmer of the of the pattern and the one power
Perhaps.
slipping through the crack? Like, could she foretell? Is this adjacent to a foretelling in a way? Like, can an Aes Sedai use the first oath to ferret out truth from the future?
They are internally, well, like,
Or is it internal consistency, right?
Yeah, well,
like,
because we've seen Aes Sedai say things that they think to be true that we know aren't true. So it's an internal.
have we seen that?
Yeah.
I always took that to mean whoever that was
Lying.
Black Sister.
That's entirely possible. We don't know what the Black Sisters are bound by.
We know that they
also
don't. They are
know-
no longer bound by the oaths. We've learned that already
Okay.
at this point in the series.
But are they
Okay.
bound by any oaths?
Well, too sure to the Dark One. They've replaced their oaths with oaths to the Great Lord.
What are they?
to lie and cheat and steal for the benefit of the Great Lord.
And to massage the taint.
Massage the tank, rub it, smack it up, flip it, rub it down. Oh no.
All right.
So then we
This
jump
chapter ends with Lan
Yeah,
feeling
Lan
pulled to
POV.
go north.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of interestingness in this bit here. Like I like how he kind of gives props to Pedro Nial. He's like the light send Pedro Nial doesn't choose to paint his face, but he's one of the best military commanders. Maybe that's why they're
What
here,
does that
like,
even mean? I hope he doesn't paint his face, Josh.
like a clown, right? To make him.
I
to
know.
make him
I don't think like a clown. War paint.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay, that makes more sense.
That's how I read it. But
Yeah, that makes more sense.
But
reading it
yeah, he
backwards.
talks to Bakuma or whatever, Bakama. And Bakama's like, we gotta wait like at least a month or two, at least a year rather, whatever. And so they decide
love-
4 months.
I love the bird references here, like the iron filing to the lodestone. I mean, it's like his determination of true north, the true northiness of his home.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and we assume that he is there because the IU were there, and the IU are now split in town, man.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, fuck this. It takes me a month to get home. I won't fight for a month.
Well, this also shows in this next paragraph here. It shows us how long the war has been. He said he concedes that they would wait 4 months. So he says 4 months. Lan conceded. He'd borne waiting 2 years. So like they've been fighting for 2 years. I mean, like maybe he didn't join right at the beginning of the war, but he probably did. And now we get an idea of how long the Aiel war has lasted. So they were chasing Lamin across the damn land for 2 years. Interesting.
Land man.
Aha, wait a
Dragman?
minute. As it happened, no, Lamin.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, my bad. I was reading
No,
and
it's just
I
good.
only half heard what you said. He said, so as it happened, Niall had chosen not to become a fool. That's why I thought it was painting his face like a clown.
Yeah.
Which had been very well indeed, given the above army had already departed. So yeah. They said their goodbyes and then they peaced out. And he was thankful that they had no encounters with Aes Sedai.
So we do learn that Pedro Nial's been the Lord Captain Commander of the Children of Light for over 20 years now.
Yeah, long time.
I mean, we
At
kind of
least.
knew. I think we knew that from. We knew he had been there a long time from the prologue to the book, where we meet
7.
him talking to Mordeth.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't remember.
Not
if
how
it
long,
said
but
that
for a long
he's-
time.
Right.
Yeah, he's
right,
old as
right,
fuck and he's been in charge for a while.
Right.
So, and obviously, the end of this chapter is presaging how they obviously do encounter Aes Sedai and possibly Tarvalon, because he doesn't want it, but obviously it has to happen.
Yeah, he said it's a quote great and wondrous city by all accounts, but too full of Aes Sedai for any comfort.
Which just shows that he's smart because he doesn't want to deal with the Aes Sedai.
Yeah. Well, and the countryside must have been silly with him with the war. Every able-bodied person who could channel was out there doing so, it seemed. So the fact that there's 50 people from the blue inside, it might mean that they are. I don't know how many blue are just on the outskirts of town. Perhaps still. I don't know what's going on with the Aes
But weren't
Sedai
they
in
out
regards
just
to the
healing?
war.
Not
Yeah, they stay as far from the fighting as possible.
Right.
since they can't participate in it.
Yeah, and well, they don't want to be forced to either.
Or be drawn in, yeah.
Yeah, an accidental arrow slips past, and now they have to defend themselves or something.
Hard to pull the strings from up close.
Exactly.
Is there anything
So
else in
maybe
this
it makes
chapter-
sense that the Blues, since they're mostly out healing anyhow, maybe it makes sense that the Blues aren't really out there. That's not their task, right?
True. Very true.
But we do know that Moraine has at least adequate healing skills. I don't know if they're great or
Mhm.
not, but
Yeah, I mean, we've seen
she
her
was
heal a
able
lot of
to
people.
attend to the Emmons
Swan.
Fielders.
And
Not
Swan.
just the Emmons Fielders and Swan, but she healed Tam. who had
Tons of
been-
Tam
Mhm.
and tons of people after the battles in the Aiel
Yeah.
and
But Tam's, having been exposed to the poison or
Right.
the corruption of the Thankendar blades was, that was a hard bit of healing that she said she did.
right.
So, and she even had to use.
And she participated in healing Matt.
Yeah.
In fact,
So, I mean,
that healing only had 2 yellows, I think.
Yeah.
Out
One of the
bunch.
yellows directed the flows. They just kind of used
Right.
Moraine's power.
They
to
just
do
used
such
power.
Yeah.
so we need to assume that all Aes Sedai have some degree of healing, I would assume, based on our seeing blues can heal.
Haven't we
Well, I
met
mean-
some that can't, though? Or who
Okay,
are not
yeah,
powerful
I
in
guess
it?
I overspoke. I guess all Aja can
Mhm.
heal.
Yeah, well,
Let's
yeah,
say that.
just like anything, some people can be better at one thing than others.
Right.
Some people can have some skill in some things.
It's not like the Ajas choose you based on your capabilities. You choose your Aja. So you might be good at things that the other Aja do, but still have proclivities for another color.
Exactly.
You get to choose your major.
And you can't change your Aja, I take it, once you're in.
That's a
No.
good question.
That seems like a failing.
That's a
Stuck
good
for
question.
300
I-
years.
Hey, listen. At least they're not putting kids in houses that are going to define the rest of their lives when they're 8.
I'm a goddamn
You can
Slytherin.
move
I'm a
between
7-year-old
houses, though, I think.
Slytherin.
Can't you?
No, you can't change your house.
No, that's a divine magical appointment.
You could pick it.
Slytherin.
But
At
again,
least it's
you're-
only for 4 years and not for the rest of your.
No,
Right.
but it's but like
Existing.
your house
That's
defines
200.
the rest of your life. Like people look at you different. I was a Slytherin, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
But that is a good point, Josh. I'm not sure if we've heard any method to change Aja, but I'm
You can
not
become
sure
a black sister.
There you go.
this can be a read and find out kind of situation where
Raffo.
as of right now we haven't seen it happen, but that's all I can say, I guess.
For sure.
But that's a
it's
great
Raffo.
question. I mean, you can change fraternities if you're at San Jose State. You can say, I don't want to be a Delta anymore. I'm going to be a Phi Cap or whatever.
There's
You
too
can
many
do
Greek
that.
letters in there. I don't.
Too many.
Too much.
Too many. Who wants to be Greek anyways? They're sheet wearing.
Hey, listen, they had
Colorful
some
house
wild parties.
painting.
They had some wild parties. I'll be Greek.
I've never been to a fraternity party in my life.
No, I meant just the Greeks.
Oh, okay. Greek. I thought you meant Greek life, baby.
too.
What else in this chapter, Josh?
Nothing.
Do you need a break or should we just jump into this final
I'm good.
chapter? What do you think, handsome?
Sure.
All right. We're going
I'm
to
good
jump
to go.
then straight right into no break. No break. Look at that.
Screw that.
We're
noise.
jumping straight into chapter 13. It is called Business in the City.
Business.
I remember that show
It's
with those four
business
women.
time.
Had Matthew Broderick's wife and Kim Cattrall, and they just had sex all over while doing business in the city.
In the city, yeah.
Isn't that it?
Mr. Big.
Mr. Big, right? He died on Peloton.
He did.
Anyways,
Peloton got pissed about that.
so the first damn sentence of this thing has a drinking obligation. Because you remember that it ended, Swan's thing ended, Kiss of Moraine.
Yep.
Quote, they could have had food brought to their rooms, but after Moraine healed Swan, they went down.
To the first
Healed.
city. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. No. I know.
Healed.
They went
Healed.
down.
He said healed.
Clink. Yeah. I got a gutter mind.
It's fine. I'm right there with you.
So they went down to dinner. I mean, and this is again like Hogwarts. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, we've never been able to be here before. Now we're here. We're in this grand dining room.
They're in the teacher's lounge now.
They're in the teacher's lounge, right?
That's what
You're like, whoa, the dean smokes? I didn't know that. Whoa.
Yep.
The tables are set apart for privacy. They seat 4, which is kind of cool. You can kind of sit and not have to. It's just a standard, I guess, library type thing, but they serve food. And they're getting their shit on like silver trays with fine porcelain and all this stuff. They're like, oh, we're in fancy town. Guys, we're fancy town now. I think Moraine lifted her pinky when she drank her tea. Yeah, total.
And Suwan is like stereotypical white person. She complained that her fish was too heavily seasoned, so it probably just had salt and pepper on it, right?
She's all, I said not spicy, and they're like, it was just salt and pepper.
Yeah. I went to dinner with somebody who
said not spicy.
I said not spicy.
I went to dinner with someone who legit ordered garlic chicken, and the waiter was like, it has butter, garlic, and salt on it, and he said it was too spicy. I was like, what is happening right now?
Garlic is pungent, man.
Then some fighting words.
They get paid. They each get 1,000 crowns gold.
Yeah. It's a lot of money.
And that's their yearly stipend.
And Josh, I can't unsee it now. All I see is Egwene and Nynaeve in these two. Like when they were, once you said that, now that's all I could see. Especially with this scene here when Suwan's like, like she makes the comment of like how Suwan is all crazy about, oh my god, 1,000
pounds.
Yeah, that's all I see now. That's all I see now. So thank you for that, buddy.
And Moraine is far more suave with this money than Swan is. Swan is like she's been a miser her whole life. Her father had never even earned this much.
Yes.
God, that color is
even seen it. No, it's great. He won't get hit crossing a road, man. This is important.
Ever.
It's true.
He can cross this road.
Swan's father had never seen 1,000 gold crowns ever in his life, like combined. He never got to 1,000. They're getting this shit every year. She's like,
baby.
Whoa. And Moraine's like, we're going shopping.
Amazing.
Cue the girls just want to have fun montage.
Yep.
Where Swan like wears something and Moraine's like, no. And then Swan comes out, another one, and Moraine's like, yep, you got it, girl. And then it's like, girls just want to have fun.
What's the one where they dress? Where like it's the nerdy girl and they dress her up to make her look to be the hot girl, and then at the end they're like, oh.
Every other 80s movie.
No, but there's a movie that is specifically that, and they use the name of that movie as the.
Was that Rob Snyder's movies?
Nah, that's not what it is. Because that's what it's more like. No, Swan doesn't want to be there, and Moraine has to like teach her how to dress and stuff. It's funny.
Right, the hot girl that they just put glasses on and put her hair up.
MaTsDaGger. 5 points to MaTsDaGger.
What is it?
She's all that.
She's all that.
Yeah, people say like she's all thatted. Like people say that shit.
I thought you were talking about
that one.
in Breakfast Club, the chick with the dandruff got.
Oh yeah. With all the stuff in her bag.
The hot chick is a masterpiece. I don't think this sentence has ever been uttered anytime on the internet, Quarkspar.
But also QB's name is the only thing that's like unique. So this guy's just a factory of uniqueness.
Like,
do you even know what Quarkspar is, Ryan?
From Star Trek.
Well, shh. Oh. Tom.
I was saying Quarkspar like from Star Trek.
No,
I know what it is. You know what it is. Does Ryan know what it is?
I thought
Right.
he was made up a funny name to be like, oh, look, I'm like a candy bar that you buy in the store, but I'm a Quark bar because
Like a Clark bar, Ryan, but it's a Quark bar.
How
What
many?
kind of nerd are you?
Not a good one is the
Hey,
answer.
beam me up, Scotty. Oh, we
He's
need
a handsome tan nerd.
before we can get going, sir. Yeah, fuck.
That's why he only has a mustache. He can't hide his secrets in it.
No, it's to save. Yeah,
It's a flavor saver, right, Ryan?
it's my dick broom.
Yeah. No, so many
Yes,
police
right.
jurisdictions want to scrape that mustache for DNA evidence.
What is Star Trek? Thank you, Clark Bar.
Columbo.
Thank you. QB and I fucking mind meld.
QB. Blue 42. Blue
Quarterback.
42.
Thank you, Dan. Yes.
Omaha.
Omaha.
Yeah, everyone thought QB stood for quarterback. No.
All I can see is Dan holding the football for Ryan's puppet, and Ryan running up, and then Dan pulling it away, Charlie Brown style, and Ryan just like flipping through the air.
And I'm like, you
Oh.
blockhead.
Oh, that's a funny way. Okay, yeah. Fascinating. Okay, yeah. Who's holding the football? Who's kicking? That's funny.
I'm the ball.
That's funny.
Now that's funny.
yeah. Bring it on home, Tom.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So the first thing Maureen does is she goes to a bank, of course.
Her bank.
And we need
Not
to
just
hear
any
about
bank.
this stuff. We need to read about this stuff. It is the first bank founded after the breaking.
Yeah,
It is a bank that is her father has banked with Elaine Dormel's older brother for years. It makes the choice easy. You know, we all it's not what they're selling, it's what we're buying. And we need to put our money in banks that we are proud of.
It's the first
And
Wells Fargo.
Yeah. Swell Fargo.
Nah,
It used to be Swell's Fargo, but also
Fells Wargo.
there you go.
Swole.
You don't want your bank's name to have the word "fell" in it.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah,
Not good.
it's actually psychologically having the word "go" at the end is very positive. That's actually I never thought about that. Fargo, we're going.
Escargot.
It's a good.
So Maureen goes in and she gets ushered to the manager. Manager's like, "Hi."
Oh, it's a rich royal. Come right this way, madam.
Yeah.
Come right this way.
She says, "May I offer congratulations, Maureen?" said I. And that was the first time Maureen had heard that title. And she's like,
That's
Say it
right.
again.
God
Say it
damn it,
again.
I like the sound of that. Maureen Sedai. Say it again. Say it again, would you?
Say
it
my
again.
name.
Mufasa.
Say my name.
Look me in the eye and say it again.
Say it slowly.
We hear that this woman sent Maureen a letter, but Maureen doesn't appear to have received this letter, Josh.
Yeah, suspicious, eh?
It says, I assume you have come to deposit your stipend. I fear I put everything I knew into the letter I sent you, and I've learned nothing more. And Maureen's like, can you tell it to me again? I'm an audio learner. I don't learn by reading stuff. I learn by hearing it. Can you tell me? Ryan, I love that ad.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring this up while
Karri John looks great. We got me looking not
beard.
great. Beard and hair.
I can see a little bit of a nipple through that shirt. I think it's fantastic.
Salt, and a little pepper.
Little nipples.
Oh, a little nipple.
And that shirt's not even on the website. I made that shirt. I made that shirt myself. So
It's actually a terrible ad.
You can't buy that particular shirt.
This is a definition of a horrible ad.
Oh, no. Hey, Dan, let's give us that week. Get some music. Here. Read, Dan.
What are we doing?
Give an ad read.
All right. So, guys, it's after Christmas. You notice what you received that you liked, what you received that you didn't like, and you know what you want. You want Way of the Leaf stuff, right? You want a frosty mug. You want a shot glass or two. You want a shirt. You want even a cutting board or a sweatshirt? I still am working on getting the cutting boards. This is my fault, but we're getting cutting boards. Now, guys, you want this stuff. You want it. You want it. And it's available. New creations by Jen. She has been part of the community and has been catering to Wheel of Time content creators for a few years now. Rob, who does weekly Wheel News, is associated with this, and we all love him as well. So let's keep it in the family, shall we? Go ahead and buy a shirt, get a shot glass, get a cutting board, get a wheel, Way the Leaf license plate frame. How about a wheel, the Way the Leaf safari hat?
Okay.
How about a Way of the Leaf
Lunchbox.
Tommy Bahama, Camelback, the thing that when you're in the desert. Yeah, you can get all kinds of stuff probably.
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 When is the Way of the Leaf flamethrower coming?
We're in talks with Elon Musk.
We're selling them for $10,000 each, and we'll make a profit.
For some reason, I heard you say frosty mug.
Frosty.
I haven't heard Frosty in a long time.
Frosty the Snowman.
Why you looking all frosty over there, son? Huh?
Yeah, well, you're looking all frosty.
Look at sus Josh asking why I'm looking frosty.
Frosty. Is that a word? Frosty?
That's
Frustrated?
fat. Yeah, Frosty.
Frosty.
1990s?
That's the
Frustrated?
90s right there.
Literally never heard that. Frosty?
I never have either, right?
No, yeah. And
We grew up on the East Coast, and
It's
you
the
guys
East
grew
Coast
up on the
thing.
West Coast.
Yeah,
So.
East Coast.
That's
Obviously,
wicked
so
cool.
that's wicked cool. Absolutely.
Yeah, no one said wicked here.
No, that was
Yeah.
that's on the other side of the pond. They say wicked.
No.
Well, no, you know
No,
what
they
they
say-
say it in
Or
Boston.
they say like in Boston, New York, and stuff.
Boston,
yeah.
too.
Not in
yeah.
New York, for sure. Not in New
The
York. But in
seaboard.
Boston,
I mean,
Boston.
you guys are seaboard, Eastern
All
Seaboard.
right, it's so cute. Your little colloquialisms. Your little like
Ryan, are you
little
googling?
dialects. Let me
Frosty?
tell you, when we make up words in California, they go global. Remember the word rad?
They're gnarly.
Became a
They're
movie.
tubular.
Gnarly became temporarily existent. I'm really into that word. All right. Anyway, so yeah.
Did you say the word
Ryan.
copoodleism?
never heard of that word.
What? Coodleism?
Ryan, when's the last time you shredded the gnar?
It's absolutely this morning.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I haven't
Shred-
I haven't hard yet, but I will.
Gnar shredding, huh?
I shredded the gnar.
I attribute that totally to Spicoli.
I gleamed the cube.
Mm.
Mm.
Tasty waves. Tasty
Ja.
babes.
Cha.
His dream when he's being interviewed after winning the surf contest.
It's
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
cute when everyone outside of California makes fun of us. It's so cute. You guys sound so foreign and funny.
Ripping on some gnarly waves, bro.
You know what, guys? California and Southern California specifically is where Hollywood is. This is the standard for speech. Everything else, because all the movies come out of Hollywood, this is what Americans speak like. And if you don't sound like California, then you have an accent.
All right. Okay. We have.
You know that
Yep.
most actors are not from California, right?
I was not gonna say anything, but
No.
They come here.
And they
What
don't
are you talking about?
Giggity.
speak like any
like
California.
Californians.
Homebred actors.
They sure do.
We grow them on trees, baby. California. But also, first off, wait.
Yeah, like Mel Gibson, Nicole
Yes,
Kidman.
thank you. Please, I
Yep.
want. This is the way of the lube. This is the way of the.
The loop.
The way the lube.
What would it say? It'd be all three puppet faces, and and on the other side it would say ecstatic consent. So it'd be our
Yep.
faces up and down the shaft, and then the other side it would say ecstatic consent up and down the shaft. That's the
And
way
then on the other side of the bottle, it says wank of the leaf.
yeah. And if you're not endowed, it would just be ecstatic
Perfect.
or
Does
if you
the
really
cock
have a
ring
hard
just
time.
look like the inside of our mouths? Like that?
It says tick.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right.
so you can order an exact replica of any one of our three mouths for your adult pleasure.
Yep.
We will make plasters of
Well, I don't like this at all.
Yeah, you want the idea of our fans just face fucking us when we're not around?
I don't
Gets me
like this
excited.
at all.
I think that's the way to build community, Dan.
I think, yeah.
Jesus.
I
why
mean,
would you
send me
not do
videos
that
if it
at all?
happens, but I don't like this at all.
All right, that's
So,
Videos.
but you know, I'm not going to encourage it, but I mean, of course, include me, CC me, would you?
yeah,
See,
obviously. But
that
it's
sounds like
if-
enthusiastic consent if I ever heard it.
Sounds to me
funny,
too.
funny thing is though, if like Josh actually did a plaster pair for his fucking beautiful mouth, all of our fans would be fucking it.
Oh yeah. You know what? If they saw
Plaster
his
of
gorgeous hair
Paris?
too.
That would hurt.
Yeah, don't you flex? Don't you? What is? How do you make molds? Plaster Paris, right?
No,
Yeah, you just
rubber.
don't want. Yeah, ideally rubber after that. Latex.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
if you're a softie, I mean, like what?
Sure.
Right.
You're right.
It's fucking
Right.
it's flecked and harshened for my pleasure, right?
Ryan's looking for enthusiastic
I'm on enthusiastic
rips
validation.
and tears.
Rarely is Tom quiet in these moments, but I obviously I lost Tom for a
All right, let's get through this chapter.
No, let's talk about plaster Paris mouth fucking for the rest of the night. All
Right. You.
And Ryan shows back up, and the whole show derails.
That was a
Yeah,
lot of.
No,
We were
I know,
doing
we were
really
doing great, and
well.
then he
Like
popped
we were
up.
an hour and 17 minutes, almost done with the show.
There was a
About
lot
A
of.
few
force
minutes
behind
later,
it.
we've gotten 0 pages.
No.
I love you,
0
Ryan.
pages, Ryan.
And we've
That's
lost
what we're talking
5 watchers.
I love you.
Ah, here comes 0 pages.
The ballot day will come.
I have an idea.
All right,
Why don't we get up to 30 watchers? Ryan, leave, and I bet it'll happen.
No, don't leave.
No.
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 He's slowly creeping
Don't
up.
go. Right. No. Oh, we did just get
Oh,
another
Ryan,
viewer.
come back.
As soon as
back,
Ryan
Ryan.
started dropping off, someone popped in.
Yeah, it happens.
All right, so Moraine is like, "Hey, you sent me a letter. Yeah, I can't quite read. Can you tell me the letter again?" Apparently, 9 days ago, there was a captain of the Tower Guard by the name of Reese Gorthane.
Gorthanes.
The worst name I've
Gorthanes.
ever heard of.
He's a Kyrian.
Rice
His face
Gorthanes.
was well proportioned and good looking, despite a scar about an inch long. A scar about an inch long here. That's a drink. Is that?
Have you ever looked at someone and just thought, wow, that person is well proportioned?
It's a well proportioned face.
That makes Is that okay? Just wondering. Have you?
I've looked at people and said, "Wow, your face is disproportioned." Before.
Yeah, like Tom Cruise has a gigantic balloon head over a
Yeah.
tiny little muscular body.
Or why did someone like click and drag all the features of your face to the center? Like, you know.
Guys, have you noticed how Tom Brady now looks a lot like Kevin Bacon?
Guys, have you noticed how
What?
Ryan actually made a comment about the symmetry of my face last episode?
Oh.
As he criticizes someone talking about proportionality of a face?
A good
Oh
point
yeah,
there, buddy.
yeah, seven. Oh my god,
Good
bring it
point.
back around, Josh. Bring it back.
Hey, listen.
Look at
He
that
looks
symmetrical
very
face.
well proportioned to me. All right.
In fact, he actually. I
I love
As my
the
like
symmetry.
left eye goes.
that little sexuality he does is so
It's all a secret of the camera.
It's a little dolly, but it's okay.
It's okay.
A little Salvador dolly.
Salvadoran
Josh,
Dalian.
Josh, our Picasso first
Nice.
time reader.
Nice, man. Reality foreshadowing reality. Gotta love it.
Why is your nose on your forehead?
I would love to
Proportionality.
see you guys do the Muppet episode where they go up to the face machine, and it like plucks the nose off and like sticks it ear and like puts the ears.
Oh yeah, everything's all over the place. Yeah.
There's that classic Muppet skit where it's like the facelift machine.
Like it was like Mr.
Oh
was like
gosh.
is that where they came
Oh,
up with Mr.
Carrie,
Potato?
thank you, Carrie. There's a chapter.
Hey, Karri.
Focus.
Focus.
No. Okay, like, Karri John is up late. This is unprecedented for her. She's already
Proud.
counting. She's counting sheep while watching the show. Let's Terry on. I think
Ryan, you know, you've changed because last time she told us to focus, you straight out banned her.
Right.
So we had a Spanish teacher in my high school that she used to shout focus all the time at us, but she had an accent, so she would always say "focus,
Focus.
focus."
Ryan and I had a Spanish teacher that had a very southern twang. So she'd be like, "¿Cómo está usted?" It was
That's
good.
great.
Saquen sus cuadernos, por favor.
That sounds very Californian to me.
That's amazing.
Could be. So there was someone who was sneaking into Moraine's shit, Josh. One is saying, "Hey, here's a letter from the Amerlin. We need to know all her finances. We're doing an audit." And he's like, "Fake news."
It was a forgery.
So
False.
Black Aja.
What do you think?
That's the only thing I could think is Black Aja.
Or maybe Kyrian being
Kyrian, Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Houses, yeah.
He apparently was captured but escaped through bribery.
A Kyrian. He was a Kyrian, so yeah.
Mhm.
Game of Houses, I guess, is implied.
I had the
Wonder
young
how
man
he-
involved strapped, so wager he
Sent
still
off on a
feels it when
boat.
he sits down. That means she pegged him, right?
Yeah, that's where I
He
was
still
going.
feels it when he sits down. Yeah.
Maybe that's
and
how he
then
bribed him. He let him peg him. That was the bribe.
Right, and then he got sent as a bilge boy, and we know what code for bilge boy is.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought that was Cabana Boy.
It's but
Bilge Boy.
Wait, guys.
it's
wait,
bottom.
wait.
It's bottom champion.
Wait, I was a Bilge Boy.
You're a bottom champion.
Am I pegging right now?
Can you?
Are you?
Is that what this is this happening right now? Is this
Will
pegging?
you? No. I'll show you later.
I'm
I'm gonna leave right after the episode's over, just so you know.
I'm sorry, Josh. Sorry, not sorry.
No,
Is
sorry.
the line? I prefer to keep it internal. Is that a drinking obligation?
Yes, I like it.
All right. Yeah, I think
I
so.
support
too.
this.
All right. Thank you,
Oh,
Tom. That's what I like about you.
Yep.
That and that superfluous H.
Hey! You listen here, buddy. That is not superfluous, all right? I'm gonna hear
James
this shit.
Brown is the man of
When they abbreviate
It's like-
Christopher, they don't take the H out.
You know, that H in there is like the name Tom is wearing a nice big Fava Flav clock shaped like an H.
So it
it's
looks
like,
amazing.
Yeah,
is what you're saying?
boy.
It's got
Your
all
name-
the-
your name is
it
actually-
is amazing.
Your name is actually
it is-
Tomas, right?
Yeah.
Tomas.
No,
Tomas?
it's
Are you-
Tom.
I
Are
mean,
you a
obviously, you
stocky
shorten
water?
it to Tom with an H if your name doesn't have the H, right? Since everyone else.
Yep.
Silly pants.
Truth out.
Everyone in chat is killing me. We had that congressman who said he was Jew-ish, and now there's many jokes going in chat about that. I love it.
Yep. Everyone
Alright.
embellishes their resume. I went to Harvard.
The
And
superflu-ish.
I was the president of Istanbul.
Well, I guess-
and-
Oh, did you hear there is a Republican congressman who was elected and he bullshitted pretty much everything on his resume.
That's what
He
we're
did
talking
not
about.
work for the places he worked for. He did not graduate from a college.
Yep.
Everything is a lie, but he was elected. Now they're wondering, well, what do we do about this?
Ryan,
This
is what happened. Whoosh.
Yeah, yeah, right on.
Wait,
No, no, that's what I was talking about. But he also said he also claimed to be Jewish, but then when he came back to it, he said Jew. He's like, I'm Jew-ish. I was Jew.
I'm Jewish.
Right. So this is superfluous. ish.
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 More like a span ish. This is amazing.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay, so explain to me, why is it important? Okay, why does Moraine not leave more coin with the White Tower? Why is it that the letter being held back would lull her into thinking they had decided against putting her on the Sun Throne? I had a hard time grokking this part.
So if
Well,
she
no,
puts,
we'll
if
grok
she,
with you. So what clarify your second point with Moraine, please.
Okay, well, let's go question at a time.
Okay.
Tower law required equal representation of every Aja in the Tower's bank. And now that she wore the shawl, she did not want her affairs known to other Blues, much less other Ajas, especially after what she had just been told. Just been told in this case being someone trying to get at how much money she has.
yeah.
Correct. Why does that matter?
How much money she has would directly correlate to with like how powerful she is as a noble. They could also see where it's coming from, where it's going to, stuff like that.
But don't they all know that she's the niece of the former king?
Yeah, but how powerful she is individually, you know.
Wait.
So, Josh, what I gleaned from this was actually the fact that he was freed by bribery. It says he escaped before the guards arrived. A matter of bribery. I had the young man involved strapped, then I hired him out as a bilge boy. It was the false guard broke tower law, and this. So what she heard was that there was a security breach within the bank, is what I gleaned from this.
Yeah, but she's talking about the Tower Bank, not this bank.
Yeah,
so it doesn't have anything to do.
She's saying she has to keep more money in this bank and not in the tower.
Right, but that security breach was in her bank, not the Tower Bank.
I'm saying the security breach has less to do.
It says no bank could afford to have it known one of its employees took bribes. She suspected the young man had gotten off so lightly because he was someone's son or nephew. Otherwise, he might have floated around.
So how about this, Josh? How about this?
I am being killed.
Could it be related to her feeling like she needs to flee and get away from this plot for her to become queen? Could she be right? Like, could that be one of her motivations to hide her
resources?
Yeah.
They'd also be able to.
And it says here, this discretion was one reason Moraine had never kept more than a little coin with the tower. This very thing here. It says it had been unnecessary as a novice. Tower law required equal representation. And now that she wore the shawl, she did not want her affairs known to other Blues, especially after what she'd been told based on this security breach, I think. I mean,
well, this discretion meaning not asking Moraine more about how she felt about the incident and what she thought it might have meant. It's the banker's discretion, not the discretion of not killing the guy. This whole section is like kind of badly. Like, I really was not happy reading this next page and a half. It really is not well written.
Awkward. It's awkward, yeah.
But the way I read it is that the bankers, the private bank, seems to have more discretion in.
They do than the tower.
Than the tower would. Therefore, she can hide her dealings. Where if she had all of her money in the tower, she wouldn't be able to hide her dealings.
Right, and she already feels exposed to the tower.
Exactly. So that's
okay. So that's the first question. I still don't feel like it's resolved, but we can move on. Okay.
Yeah.
The only reason the tower would have held back Mistress Dormile's letter was that the Hall hoped to lull her into thinking they had decided against putting her on the Sun Throne. Why would not informing her about this lull her into thinking they had decided to not put her on the Sun Throne?
Because this is them looking into her. She thinks that it might be the Aes Sedai looking into her finances. Like maybe the sitters or even the Blues themselves.
Well, Tom, let me it says here, it says nothing else is explained. A Kyrenian trying to find out how she was dispensing money and to whom. So I think this is more political than just Tower, because
Well,
this is a Kyrian lord
but
who's
well,
faking a letter.
it's political in
And
the
so
sense that
according to Moraine, she is dealing it through Kyrian eyes, and why
Through the
they
Deus
would do it.
Daemar.
Yeah, except for Deus Daemar. Exactly.
the political side of it is the fact that the Aes Sedai want to put her on the throne. So if she knew that they were looking into her finances, then she would then suss out the fact that they were trying to do that to figure out how to put her on the throne.
Yeah, because that's not her cause. Let's bring it back around to why she's a blue. That's not her cause. Her cause is to find the Dragon Reborn, and it's beautifully been expressed to us earlier how she very naturally came to this. Yeah, let's bring it back around. Dan, you getting close? Do you want to get close?
But they had made, okay, so another badly written sentence, but they had made their first moves, or rather, since they would have been as careful as thieves trying to cut a well-guarded lady's purse, many more moves in square brackets than the first. Enough for someone to puzzle out their intention. Nothing else explained to Kyrian trying to find out how she was dispersing money and to whom. Oh, light, they were going to do it just before she knew what was happening, unless she found a way out. It's so muddled. Like,
right?
I didn't like it. I don't like it.
It's trying to say stuff without saying stuff, and it almost trips over its own feet.
I don't walk away having read this feeling like it adds anything, or that I better understand, or that it makes any sense.
And do you feel like on some level all of this knowledge will be pertinent later, like the idea of like where the money comes from and which bank is which? Will that be a pertinent issue in later books, do you think, Josh?
It's hard to say. I mean, who is she even dispensing money to?
Yeah. Well,
dispersing money to
her family's bank.
But if she has to go somewhere, like, you know, stay with a royal or bribe somebody, you know, in her hunt for the Dragon Reborn, and she has to take that money out of the Tower Bank.
No, I get that looking forward, but how does it affect this, what it's talking about, which is her being put on the Sun Throne, and what has happened in the past? It's like,
it's all,
like, I get that we can apply it to the future, but like, this is very much not about that, which is why it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Fair.
Okay, so then
you can look at her primary motivations, though, and which are to not do that. Like, she is purely motivated to not be the queen of Andor. And like, she does not want
of Andor either. You're right. She doesn't want to be the queen of Andor for sure.
Yeah, who does?
Thank you, but but she doesn't want. But she wants to pursue her own goals, which is her blue expression, right?
Normally I can read a part like multiple times and feel like I can suss it out. Like, I read this like 4 or 5 times and I was like, I don't understand this any better than I did the first time I read it and was confused.
Let me ask you a question, Josh. We have Moraine committed to this cause about the Dragon Reborn based on this foretelling that happened maybe a week or 2 ago, right? Maybe a week. Would Moraine have chosen blue had this prophecy foretelling not occurred and she not had this particular passion?
I think so. I think she and Swan had already talked about it. It said,
okay,
but
So
I
wanted to say a good question, Dan, but
this word had to blow your hair back a little bit, right, Josh? Parsimonious.
Good word.
That's a good word.
Okay.
See, he liked that one. He liked
Stingy. Come on, Swan. Stop being so parsimonious. So, they go to the seamstress. Moraine gets freaking 20 or 30 dresses.
Oh, dress shopping. We're going to the mall. Yay!
Hey, girls just want to have fun.
20 gold coins per silk dress. She had 30 silk dresses made.
This is the classic
600 gold coins.
Of
her $1,000.
Well, she obviously had a bunch of money in the bank already. So
right. And Swan's like, I want 4, and they're like, no, 6, but I want them all wool.
Yeah.
And Maureen's like, fuck that. I'm getting 20. Half of them are divided. I don't want them too light. And the woman's like, I'm going to make them light. And she's like, not too light. She's like, I'm going to make them light.
Okay,
All
you
right,
can make the first 6 light, but make the last 3.
You do what you
dark.
want.
Like the last 6 dark with my house's colors.
All right.
There is a deference to Timur here. Timur, what's her name? Timur Alkohima. They're like, all right, pretend that she is like just a sister that's just a little bit stronger than us. So we gotta be kind of cool, but we can't be too pussy about it. So, let's do this. And Swan's like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. And Maureen's like, yeah, all right, follow my lead. You're gonna need it. Come on, don't ask about pricing. All right, you're embarrassing me.
It somehow this person has so much power. Just because she's offended a little bit, she makes the dresses tighter than you want. Like this person is like a powerful figure in this society.
Yeah. Seamstresses all have power.
A
Right?
woman's dressmaker. Like that's a lot.
But then they got to go to a shoemaker, and then a glove maker, a stocking maker, and a shift maker, and then maybe even a hairdresser. I mean, there's just all kinds of makers.
Well, there's no department stores.
Yeah, no,
Can't just go to Macy's.
Yawn.
That's where Mervin's came in. Yeah. Montgomery Ward.
The whole time I was reading this, I was feeling sad for Josh.
You're all right. Josh is watching them buy
I
dresses.
felt like embarrassed. I'm like, I know.
Yeah, they buy dresses. Yeah, it's important, I guess.
I like this part. I like Tamori.
Oh,
this is good world building.
I love you, Josh.
Just to fuck you.
I know. Thank you, Josh. Thank you. Josh just kicked me in the nuts.
So, Josh, what do we think of Maureen's last?
Don't ever feel sorry for me, man.
World building my ass. Yeah, they're at the mall shopping.
She decides on 5 more writing dresses in the strictest Kyrian style, each with 6 slashes across the breast in red, green, and white for
far fewer than
she had a right to.
So
and she said, I would like them made last, if you please, and do not send them. Someone will pick them up. She said, I can promise you they will be last. I said,
So what do you take?
What's going on with these?
Yeah.
They're her Karhian traditional.
But why is she buying them?
Just in case she has to escape.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
Okay. Run them.
And just in case she also needs to Dias de Mar and return home.
Okay.
I guess.
And is it notable that she does not get every stripe or whatever she's entitled to? Do you think
that she downplays her her rank? Yeah.
This is more Days to Mar stuff, you think?
And she doesn't. She downplays her rank with these dresses.
Mm-hmm.
They're not eyes. They have nothing to do with the Aes Sedai. She has them made last and not sent to the tower.
Right. Keeps them hidden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just an interesting little bit of.
All right, so we see Moraine pretty much blow her old fucking wad on clothes.
They're only 10. I'm sorry, they are only 10 gold coins per silk dress, but I'm sure the embroidery costs something as well.
Yeah.
So.
And she said that she was going
to up the
price because they offended her. So.
Right, 250 gold coins on just her outfits.
Yeah, we haven't been to the shoemaker or the.
Well, and they rented a sedan. They got an Uber to go to these.
No, they got a convertible and they're driving around,
right.
Walking fast
with 2-man horsepower. That's why I have these on my hands, so just in case I need to throw a sedan on my shoulder, I can.
You can just walk with it.
I can earn a little.
Sedan chair.
Yeah.
You do look like a
Yeah,
sedan
I
bear,
live near a college town. This is big out here.
carrying the college people around on sedan chairs. Is it a 2-door sedan chair or just a 4-door sedan chair?
Yeah, it's a Tesla, so it's hard to like find how to open the door. Actually, like
okay.
the
Did they
person
just-
needs to show you how to open
Where-
the door. They're like, yeah,
Where do they
it's
plug
weird.
you
No
in?
one-
No.
I thought it was a Brother Dan chair.
It's because it's
Brother
his
Sedan?
name. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, you like that?
I got it.
I do, Ryan. I'm glad you popped in for it. It was worth it. Ha cha cha cha. I got dozens of them.
Ah, cha, cha, cha.
I got a handful of
I forgot about that guy.
Ah, cha, cha, cha. Josh, is there anything you wanted to talk about the shopping spree? Anything? They just became Aes Sedai. They just went and spent a buttload of money.
Let's get into the details and let's world build. Come on.
Swan
He's never
needs
gonna let that
to
go.
hang out in the tower apparently for years, is her thoughts. While Moraine has to go deposit, give people the money that they promised, and she's like, "Oh man, I don't want to do that," but she at least gets to leave the tower. I mean, so I guess that's it. Is there anything that stood out to you in these 3 chapters that you liked especially?
No, they're interesting. I mean, the character building is good, but
I liked the world building in particular.
the world building was good. I don't like the confusing stuff around the Karhinan fake guard and the letter. I mean, I guess one possibility is that the Karhinans could suspect that the White Tower wants to put Moiraine on the throne. And this could be their preemptive information gathering regarding that.
Ooh, nice.
Right. Just because she's in Tar-Valon doesn't mean that the Kyrians forgot that she is perhaps.
Yeah, so or he might even be her own family for all we know, like trying to assess her position so they know whether she's competition for the next in line. So that could potentially become important later, I guess. Yeah.
Why would the White Tower want her to be queen besides just having an Aes Sedai in power?
I think that's the only reason why.
Is that the only? Okay.
Yeah, I think.
I mean,
so.
they're just coming off of a war per se.
I think
Right.
You think
they like
Where-
aesthetically. They think they like aesthetically how Moiraine herself looks on the Sun Throne. That's probably what it is.
That could be it. I mean, they are a bunch of women with the hots for one another.
She's diminutive.
Diminutive. I mean, I guess it could be to prevent another war like this from happening. I mean, they did just get their plans flummoxed by having a multi-year, 2-year war going on where they all had to heal and leave the tower and not execute their normal plans, probably. So,
yeah.
Flummox like every plot in Scooby-Doo.
Oh, we were flummoxed.
If it wasn't for you dang kids flummoxing me, I remember that.
You meddling kids, flummoxed.
Flummoxed.
Cracky, I flummoxed.
Like Zoink Scoob.
Like, hey man, why are you flummoxing so much, man?
I love your
Give me some
Shaggy.
scoops.
Dan does the best
The Shaggy voice is good, Dan. Yeah.
Like, hey man. All right, so we are doing 3 chapters next week. They are longer chapters, especially this changes chapter and chapter 14. So 14, 15, and 16 we will do for next Tuesday. We're all good for next Tuesday, right? That is the second. I think it's second.
Yeah.
We know how to count.
All right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's hard, but I get there. So I think it's So you're good for next Tuesday, Josh.
I think so.
Okay. All right, then
Second-
we will plan on next Tuesday. We'll do 3 chapters. We're already halfway through this book. We're killing it, boys. We're killing it.
More than halfway, I think.
Look
Yeah.
at watch your step. There's blood on the floor. We're killing it. I gotta put a sign saying watch your
All
step.
right,
Don't slip.
let's hit an ad before you cut it out, Dan.
Vanish.
All right, so we are sponsored by not only Village Mattress but also Tourist Hat Coffee Company. These are both family-owned businesses. They are both sponsors of ours that kick a little bit back if you get something from them. And they're both companies that we really want to encourage and want people to purchase from. They're our friends. They are they're good. They're good people, and they're small family-owned businesses in a time where there's a lot of big industry coming in and crushing certain things, including coffee and mattresses. So if you are in the market for mattress, if you're in the market for coffee, if you're in the market for, if you want to just support someone who likes our show and is trying to be cool with us, check it out. I mean, seriously, you can text Chris directly at Village Mattress.
Away the Leaf are proud to be partnering with Tourist Hat Coffee Company. Tourist Hat Coffee.
That was a mistake. Sorry.
Nope. No, that's good. Nope. You can text Chris directly and talk to him about your mattress and linen needs. And this is actually pretty awesome access, guys. You get to he's a friend of ours. He's Village Mattress. You've seen him for years, and that's his phone number. You call him, you say, "Hey, Chris, I'm watching The Way of the Leaf, and I want to look at a bed. I want a mattress." He'll ship it anywhere in the continental U.S. And Tourist Hat Coffee is our favorite coffee company. They offer really artisan coffees, great beans, and we have an ad. Ryan, go ahead and play that one for us.
Away the Leaf are proud to be partnering with Tourist Hat Coffee Company. Tourist Hat Coffee Company is a family-owned business with a strong belief in giving back to the community. Tourist Hat Coffee Company is a social purpose business whose mission is to bring people the absolute best in small batch coffee while supporting children at home and around the world. And if you go to touristhatcoffeecompany.com and use the promo code LEAF2022, you'll get 5% off your entire order. We hope Tourist Hat Coffee Company becomes your family's coffee of choice. Remember, a part of each order goes to an amazing charity and helps allow us to continue doing this show each and every week. So go to touristhatcoffeecompany.com and use promo code LEAF2022 and receive 5% off your entire order.
Absolutely. I'm a coffee snob and I love it. And it is really
good. I
inexpensive.
got my order last week. It is pretty good. I like it.
Right. It's good coffee, and it's not expensive coffee, guys.
No.
It's reasonably freaking priced for a small business. I'm really impressed with what they're doing.
What'd you get,
So this is go ahead, Tom.
I was gonna say I'm impressed by you.
Oh, I love you.
I love you too.
This has been The Way of the Leaf. This has been the LeafCast. Our first time reader, Josh, joins us every Tuesday to talk about the series. Your patience and your loyalty, Josh, is something I cannot emphasize or thank you enough for. And I love you a great deal.
Oh, thanks, Dan.
We will be back next week, and we will talk about this chapter icon, which I have no idea what that is.
That's a triangle.
Weird.
The triangle.
It's like
yeah.
Triangle.
In a box.
Like we're in an orchestra.
Sure.
Like I have a little stick that goes king.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I think
Right.
I
triangle,
always knew you had a little
I
stick.
think orchestra.
A little stick.
He said it, not me.
Well, it is equilateral. It is a perfect.
I always thought it was. I always thought it was acute. That's
We're
just
losing
me.
Tom to the nothingness.
Yeah, Tom's
My
getting
water
sucked in
cloak.
by the waist.
Warder cloak. You don't like my warder cloak?
It's like Stephen
All right,
King.
guys. So we'll see you next week. Enjoy your new year. Be safe and sound. I love you and I'm proud of you. We all do.
Mwah.
And we thank you for coming in each and every week. And we're looking forward to 2023. This is the year of the puppet, I'm pretty sure. The Chinese New
You're
Year.
the puppet, huh?
Right? Year of the puppet. Yeah. Until next week, guys, get to reading, you filthy animal.